Good morning, good evening, and everything in between. It's your favorite Disney dads here to keep you entertained from rope drop till final firework pop. It's always a good time in this kingdom, so adjust those ears and gather your snacks. And settle in, fellow Mouseketeers, because it's about to get magical. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. Cam, how you doing?
Buddy, Spider-Man came out. We saw it. I loved it. I'm doing great right now. I'm doing better than you are, I think. But we got that. We got Disney news coming up.
Yes.
And the ultimate episode of the season, buddy, before baby number 2 comes for me. So excited and sad all at the same time.
Yep. So Cam is going to be taking some paternity time away from the pod.
Paid, right?
I don't think it was HR approved, but he's taking it and he's running with it. So we'll see how it goes.
My ultimate goal is we're back in so the baby's due date is early September.
Yep.
September 8th. My hope is early to mid-November we're back, but we'll see how she's sleeping through the night and where we're at as a family trying to juggle a toddler and a newborn. So as soon as lights settle down a little bit for me to be able to dedicate time and effort and thought, because my whole thing is I could easily find an hour kind of thing.
Yep.
But I don't want to have to keep being Stevie, I need an extra half hour. Then we push the recording till 9 at night or 10 at night and be I can't actually do today. I just don't want to string along your own life schedule too with mine. So that's why taking a little bit break, get everything figured out, and then we'll talk more Disney when I get back from this. But the podcast is not.
Or you could bring the newborn on the pod. I mean, we
sure
see newborns at Disney all the time.
Who knows? Maybe there's a bonus episode with Stevie with a guest host, and hopefully I don't get Scottie Pippen or whatever.
Hopefully. I mean, you never know what I might find while you're out. But
all right, let's get to it today, buddy.
All right, so today, originally we had planned on doing a full recap of Spider-Man Brand New Day, but a lot of people have not yet seen Brand New Day, and it dawned on Cam literally 2 hours ago that D23, one of the biggest events that Disney holds to share a lot of their upcoming information on parks, rides, movies, shows, etc. Anything that Disney's working on, everything from TV shows to cruise lines, they talk about at D23. And so Cam was let's make a pivot and talk a little bit about D23 as well. So you're getting 2 topics essentially in one episode. We're going to cover Brand New Day, at least a few moments how we felt about Brand New Day, and then we're going to go into what we predict or what we're hoping to hear from D23. Cam, how's that sound to you?
This sounds great. What might not sound great to you is I'm going to add work to your schedule. I'm going to have Stevie input a little skip to this minute and second mark to get to our D23 conversation if you want to avoid the spoilers for Spider-Man. So right now you're hearing Stevie's voice and he's saying skip to this time right now.
Yep, I will throw that in. So if whatever you will skip to, and then we'll jump into it.
Perfect. So now we're in full on spoiler warning here. Just what would we say? 2 quick things. I loved Spider-Man Brand New Day. I loved it. It is my favorite live action Spider-Man I've ever seen. Just to rapid fire, because I know we're going to spend a little more time on the D23 predictions, or not predictions, but wishes, I guess. The 2 greatest things I think this movie had working for it is one Mr. Tom Holland. This is his best acting performance in his very young career.
Amazing.
He's got so many things to do. What I loved about this movie is in the first 3 Spider-Man movies, plus Civil War, plus the 2 Avengers movies he's in, it's a lot of Tom Holland acting, where you're seeing Peter Parker. He was in the suit so much of this movie because you take out this whole secret identity, you add in the fact that his secret identity is a secret identity. you just don't have as many moments with him without the suit. And because he's not using the Stark tech suit, he can't emote. Like the Spider-Man eyes in the Stark suits like would emote and things like that. It would help even the acting performance. I think I saw a couple little eye moves, but nothing crazy at all. So really, Tom had to put a lot into this performance to act through a suit. It was very Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire-esque, where he had to act without those. Not saying that the eyes movements to add expression is a crutch, but he had that available to him because he's using the Stark tech, because he's using his own thing, and he's not using as advanced tech as what his seats were before. He had to do a lot more acting in that, and just the nature of this movie, like I said, he's in the suit way more. So Tom Holland is the greatest thing in this movie. My second favorite thing, and then you can do your two, is this was truly a comic book movie that felt like a legitimate comic book arc. For those that don't know, comic book arcs are essentially like stories, right? So you get your either bi-weekly or monthly issues of comic. Maybe 5 or 6 of them would come up with a whole story. And then eventually what happens is companies like Marvel and Vertigo and DC will take those 5 or 6 issues and put them what's called the trade paperback. And that 6 issues will be one story. And then the next 5 or 6 issues, whatever it might be, would be the next arc. This felt like a complete arc from start to finish, more so than any other of the live action superhero movies I've seen ever in my life, honestly. I think that's why I loved it so much. It incorporated so many aspects of the comics where, like I said, you can kind of put a little pin in, okay, that would have been the end of this comic issue. That would have been the end of this comic issue. Here's the climax right here, and then the downfall here, and you could see the 5 or 6 issue arc that was created with this. The world is very lived in a good way. I don't think anything was very forced in. I had my reservations about Punisher being in this story. And I also had my reservations a little bit with the Hulk as well. They crushed it. They freaking crushed it. Was Punisher nerfed a little bit because he's not in an R-rated thing? Yes. But I thought his dynamic with Spidey and Peter Parker was fantastic. And it just felt like truly in these arcs, you'll have an issue or two where a hero comes in and plays a minor or sometimes major part in these stories. So like Hulk played a decent sized chunk in this thing, but at the end of the day, minor. Like the Bruce interaction with Spidey was great, and then the fight wasn't as long, but I did love it. Whereas Punisher, way more involved in this arc as well. But at the end of the day, those characters never took away from the fact that this is a Spider-Man movie. Now, here's the spoiler. Jean Grey is obviously in this movie. Was there about 20 minutes carved out for Jean Grey's origin story? Yes. But is that very comic light? Yes. Like that 20 minutes where it was just Jean's story and we didn't see Peter at all felt, again, very comic book arc-ish, right? Where you have like the first 4 or 5 issues is all about what's happening. You finally get the reveal about the villain. Maybe that 5th issue is that villain's origin story. And then you boom, right back into action for the finale. That's comic book 101, baby. Like that's an arc completely. So yeah, you do have that pivot from Spider-Man after I was just praising that those other characters didn't take away from the story, but that felt very earned to me. I love this film. It is my 3rd favorite Spider-Man film behind Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, which makes it absolutely, I can't believe I'm saying this, something dethroned Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire movie, for me as my favorite live action Spider-Man. This takes the cake. Could this all be hyperbole? Yes, but I truly don't think it is. Tom Holland is officially the best Peter Parker. He's the best Spider-Man. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie. I cannot wait to watch this again. I'm hoping to watch it at least once more in theaters. And this is going to be my comfort movie. If I'm ever sick or just want to chill, I'm going to be watching Brand New Day.
Okay. So I will tell people right now. So Cam and I, we watched this movie. We, sat back in our seats. We had our popcorn ready. Cam had his slushie. I had my drink ready to go. Watch the movie from beginning to end. I love Spider-Man. I said that last episode. The movie ends, and I'm still like, I'm just watching the screen. Ending credits are going on. I'm both processing what I watched and preparing for the post-credit scene. Instantly, Cam looks at me and goes, "You hated it. you hated it, didn't you?"
I looked at your face, and I was like, not even a fucking smile. I was like, oh my god, he hated it. I'm grinning ear to ear about the majestic masterpiece I just watched, and I go, oh fuck, you hated it. Damn.
Yeah. So I did not hate it. But like you said, you loved this movie. I enjoyed it. I think I'm starting to self-realize a pattern here of same way I felt about Fantastic Four. I don't think I am as big on comic accurate movies. I think there's something there that's missing for me, and I don't yet know what it is. But like you said, this was a very comic accurate representation of Spider-Man, and I think because I love Spider-Man so much, I'm moving past the comic accurate part. But like you said, the Fantastic Four, I absolutely hated the Fantastic Four, and you were like, but it's
Love
so
it.
comic accurate. Like
God, I
you
love it so
loved
much.
it.
I still love that movie so much.
Yeah, you were like, it's so comic accurate, and I was just like, I just didn't see any wow factor for it. But I did enjoy this movie. As we already said spoilers and spoiler warning and all of that. The things I think part of, and this is something that I saw on Instagram as well, and I was like, oh, somebody else feels the same way that I feel, but then they explain why they feel that way. I think the trailers are telling too much of the movie. And the reason why I say that is when you watch think of the trailers that you saw for Brand New Day. Other than those parts where they kind of like blacked out Jean Grey's Sadie Sink's face, the whole movie is kind of already told. So I think what it was is I saw the trailer and I was like, oh my God, this movie is going to be amazing because I'm expecting more. I'm expecting like something bigger is going to happen than what you've already showed me. But then the movie went on and it was kind of like the trailer just seems like it was a montage of what the actual movie was. So it's like the trailer shows, like the last trailer that came out, essentially gives you everything about the movie except for the whole VMAX situation. And honestly, that's it. If you really think about it, take the VMAX situation out. Everything else has pretty much already been told in the trailer. I don't know if you agree. You have a puzzled look on your face, like you're thinking about it.
I personally disagree. I feel like a lot of the trailers were like we saw the fight with Scorpion, with Captain Boomerang, with oh my god, not Captain Boomerang. Is it just Boomerang?
I think it's
Boomerang.
No, it is Captain Boomerang.
Okay,
I think it's Captain Boomerang. Yeah,
Boomerang was DC for the Flash. Tombstone, all these villains.
Yep.
They were quick snippets. Like those
yes.
scenes lasted as long as in the trailer. I felt like that. And that was like the first like 10 minutes of the movie. Like I mean, there's some things we got. We got the blackened eyes. Like we had an idea where the story was going a little bit, but I don't think they took away from the movie at all. Like I expect Sadie Sink to be Jean Grey. I was 90% sure she was Jean Grey. Like unless she was like Mary Jane Watson, like a different MJ kind of thing, or like if she was Rachel Summers, which is Jean Grey's daughter. I didn't foresee that happening. I was like, there's no way you introduce the daughter before you actually introduce freaking Jean Grey, so you can have like a Phoenix episode of or a movie, whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
For the future, like it's just not going to happen. So yeah, so I assumed it. Still was like when they said the name, I gave a little gasp. I'm like, yes, like let's go. We got an X-Men in here now. Like this is great. I don't think the trailers. I don't think they did anything for me as far as this movie. I freaking love this movie. You want me to say something outlandish?
Sure.
Top 10 MCU movie.
I'd really
As
have to go through
awesome as
MCUs.
No
I
Way
don't
Home
know if
is,
I'm putting it there.
No Way, I love No Way Home, but like the more thing about this list, I don't even think it's my favorite MCU Spidey. Like I think for MCU Spidey goes Brand New Day, Homecoming, and then No Way Home. No Way Home is cool because it's a spectacle. Because it's the nostalgia of having Andrew and Toby in it.
Yes. Yep.
This is just start to finish, just such a cool freaking story for me. Dealing with grief, dealing with isolation, depression. Those are such huge Spider-Man themes
Yep.
that we really haven't had. Peter's had it made basically with being part of the Stark quote unquote internship with Tony and having all these suit upgrades. Like, yeah, he lost Uncle Ben, but we don't even know how he lost Uncle Ben because it seems like the Uncle Ben moment that wants to be what it was Aunt May dying. Also, Marissa Tomei's performance in this was so well earned. Was not cheap in any way. Freaking loved her performance. It was that scene. I was almost in tears with my boys when that whole Sadie Sinks and Marissa Tomei scene was happening. That was beautiful. No, I freaking love this movie. I think it's a top 10 MCU movie for me. It's not a top 5. It's very close to a top 5 though. If I really had to put it.
Yeah, I think it's also one of those things of I hate movies that seem like they're stepping stones to something bigger. Like the movie itself can have hints at the bigger picture, but I don't want the movie to feel like, yeah, things are just kind of happening, but just know something else is coming. It's like, no. I need to see the action and whatnot in this movie. And I guess I felt a little underwhelmed because when I watched everything, it's like, okay, like I said, with the whole trailer situation, I knew the Hulk was going to be in it. I knew the Hulk was going to fight Spider-Man just from the trailer alone. Any comic book or anyone that followed the comics all had the same inkling it's going to be Jean Grey. Yeah. So even if it wasn't, everybody was just kind of like, we're 85, 90% sure Jean Grey is going to be in that. Okay. We saw from the trailers that, what's his name? Punisher was going to be in the movie. We knew that Peter was going to be going through some type of mutation. All of that you can get from the trailer. Now, obviously, the more like in-depth, more intricate little things here and there, I get it, but it was like I was expecting something bigger. I think I've said this before, in a superhero movie, I want the big climactic fight. And I feel like I didn't get that.
Sure. Excuse me. Yeah, but there's some good fights. But I get what you're saying, like the big climatic fight, like it was kind of more just like a hey, I got you. It was a mental health.
Yeah, it was
I
like
get that.
Peter facing his own demons while also trying to, because again, like spoiler again, but Peter trying to save Jean, and you have him fighting the Hand, which again, we knew that was gonna happen in the trailer. So Peter fighting the Hand in that like mini prison yard type area. I don't even know what that space was, but mini prison yard type area. So he's fighting the Hand. And then you get that, fun back and forth, like buddy cop fighting moment between Punisher and Spider-Man against the Hulk. But yeah, it's like I felt like I didn't get my big hero fight. And then it turns into, all right, well, Pete's just gonna throw on a sweatshirt, leave the hospital. He's heading home, and who knows what's next for our favorite web slinger. And it's just like, I feel like I didn't get there. I didn't get my big superhero climax. That's what I wanted, and it just didn't happen.
Sure, I get that. For me, didn't matter. I thought the climax. I still thought it was a great climax because I like the character development in this like more than just seeing like some people punching each other. Like I've seen that 50 million times, right? Like I like this where
Yeah.
you're setting up Jean, like obviously she's a troubled kid, did some pretty effed up things in this movie. Like Jean literally controlled the guy and threw him onto a car and basically killed him. I think did kill him. So she's got some demons to work on, but
true.
I don't need the big boom 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 fight thing at the end. I don't need that for the the emotional ending was enough of a climax ending for me, and oh my god, I can't wait for another Spider-Man movie. I can't wait for a next movie.
Yeah, I'm still pumped for Doomsday. I'm still pumped for Doomsday and everything that's going to bring. I guess again, I need not just the fight, I need the big bad. And when I say I need the big bad, I don't mean the guy that runs I forget the name of that department or whatever.
Damage control.
Some guy, damage control. I don't need damage control. That's really just a guy in a suit jacket. Like, no. I want somebody that is the big bad. At least Fantastic Four had Galactus.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Like Marvel, for a lot of the Marvel big bads in each movie, for the most part, they suck. They really do. Like, think about Iron Man, for example. Those three Iron Man movies are incredible. Incredible. Whiplash sucks as a villain. Obadiah Stane sucks as a villain. And Hammer, Justin Hammer? What's his first name? Whatever, that guy. They all sucked as villains. But those movies still rock because of that. Like,
but you still had a big fight against that villain.
Yeah, but like, cool, they had the fight, but like, it didn't mean it. Like, this meant more.
Jean Grey had the damage control guy in a straitjacket before Spider-Man even walked in the room.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there was nothing there. Like there was nothing there. So it's like you got the hand fight, and I will admit that was cool.
Unreal. You got that whole freaking tank video game-esque fight earlier. That was sick.
At the earlier in the movie, I'm like, I'm sorry, I need something at the end.
Okay,
but yeah, one thing that I will say that I did like and it's been stuck in my mind ever since the movie, I had to write it down. The song "Loser" by Tame Impala. That song, I had never heard that song before. That song and the whole scene that goes on throughout that song playing, that I will say, cinema-wise, chef kiss. I loved every bit of it. From the moment that it starts of, oh, I see Ned, I'm going to follow Ned, crashing their, housewarming apartment party, getting to, after 4 years, finally getting to have a conversation with Ned again, getting to just speak to MJ, and then once the guy came in, which again, we don't know if this is the boyfriend, we don't know the connection because it doesn't seem like MJ ever called this guy to say I'm good or anything like that, which is kind of maybe a plot hole.
Did you know who it was?
I know his face looked familiar. I think wasn't he in Star Wars?
He's Azar, yeah, in Star Wars.
Yeah, so it's like you got a relatively big actor to play this role. And again, you saw this part in trailers, but he really only got about 35 seconds at best.
Sure, but he's probably like, I want him gone anyway. I hate this guy.
So, but it was questionable. But like again, when MJ and him kiss, I loved the full crash out of Peter Parker after that.
Yeah, that swinging scene is great. Also, when like MJ finds out it's Peter, but then doesn't realize who Peter is, and it's like the whole "I don't love you" scene.
Yeah,
silent web
Oh,
singing scene is great. But
yeah.
real quick, just to wrap it up, out of
Yep.
10, what are you giving it? It's a 10 for me, hands down. 9.5 for me, I guess.
Out of 10, I think I'm giving it a 6.5.
Wow, very different.
Yeah.
You know what? Different strokes for different folks, and that's what's nice about this thing is we're allowed to have different opinions. For
Yeah.
me, Marvel's 3 for 3 in their last three with movies between New Avengers / Thunderbolts, whatever you want to call it, Fantastic Four, and this. Get me to December 18th. Get me to Doomsday. Need to get Stevie. Need to get the rest of the boys up there. Shout out to my boy Kevin for coming with us too. I don't know why I'm calling him my boy. I never used that phrase ever in my life. What a night! What a night, man! All right, welcome back, everybody that skipped the brand new day stuff. So Stevie put the time stamp for this.
Yep.
We'll go through this. I think quickly. I always say that we never do, but Stevie, top 3 wishes that you want to hear for or from D23. I don't know which way you went. For me, I just went straight theme parks. I don't know if you did movies or TV or music. I just went straight theme parks.
Yeah, a little of both.
Okay, you want to start off first?
Yeah. So my first one is I want information and a timeline. I want a better timeline or hone in on a timeline for the Monsters Inc. ride. That is the number one ride. Like, I know there's so many other things going on, but I am locked in ever since I saw, I think it was like a 3D modeling of what that ride is supposed to look like. I was like, oh man, I'm not the biggest roller coaster person, but if Disney is making, like, I know you've seen the 3D modeling. This looks Universal-esque. And I think that's what really excites me. I'm like, Disney is pushing the limits, and this ride looks like it's going to be it. So I want a better timeline of when that's going to be out. Maybe it's because I know they've been doing a lot of building. Maybe it's ready late 2027. Maybe they decide, we're going to push it out to spring of 28 or whatever. Like, either way, I want some information on that.
My guess is 2028. I don't know if they've already announced that. Obviously, they're not going to get really, really, really specific. But that's a good one. That's definitely for sure. See, for me, I'm not as concerned about Monsters Inc. because I kind of have a sense of what's going on between like the show, the ride. Like, I want to know when it's going to happen. But for me, my number 3 is my wish is a new World Showcase Pavilion ride. So not a new pavilion, but I want a new ride in the Showcase Pavilion. That could mean updating Donald's Ground Fiesta Tour to Coco. It could mean something. Let's get a whole new, brand new, original ride. Give me a Snow White ride in Germany, or give me a Mulan roller coaster in China. I don't know. I want a ride, hopefully brand new ride. I'd rather not a reskin. Like I said, I'll take Coco being replacing Ground Fiesta Tour Mexico, but I'd much, much, much prefer a brand new ride at World Showcase because really they have 2 heavy hitters there between Remy's and Frozen. Give me another one. It doesn't have to be an e-ticket attraction, but just give me another ride, not a show, not a movie that I know people don't like the IP going to Disney. I don't care. There was, before COVID, there was going to be like a Mary Poppins carousel out in England, the UK pavilion. I'll take even that. Just give another ride to help spread out the crowds a little bit more, especially in World Showcase.
Okay.
If they want to do new pavilion, that's fine too, but I would like a pavilion ride.
Yeah, a new ride sounds good. All right. Okay, so my number 2, I want, and it might still be really early for this, I want more info and maybe even bring them up for like a mini panel type of situation. I want more on the Tangled live action. And the main reason is because I love Milo, who's going to be playing
Flynn.
Oh, Flynn. Yeah, Flynn Rider. I love him as an actor. Watching him in the zombie movies, he has a great singing voice. I've been able to see him in a couple of other shows here and there. So I'm hoping, because everything has kind of started for this movie, casting, etc.
Already tons of leaks online of like behind the scenes filming. Like there's one where Milo as Flynn Rider's like talking to like a puppet head of like Maximus the horse, while Rapunzel, I forget the woman's name who's playing her, but is like getting her fake hair braided by the kids in Corona. But tons of stuff on set right now. That's all overacts.
And the other thing is Catherine Hahn is supposed to be Mother Gothel.
Yes.
For those that don't know who that is, she's the one that played Agatha in Agatha All Along and WandaVision. So this movie, I will say, because again, I think we've kind of talked about it a little bit here and there. The live actions have really been meh for the most part. There's some that are better than others, but they've been meh. This one looks like it has real potential to be a banger.
Yeah.
And so I'm really, really hoping they don't shit the bed on this one.
Yeah.
The acting choices seem like they're really good. I mean, everything I've seen Catherine Hahn in, I've loved. I already said, what I said about Milo. And then I forget the actress that's supposed to be playing Rapunzel.
Yeah, I forget.
But I don't know. Did you ever watch the show Titans?
Yeah.
So she was Raven.
Yeah.
So she did a great job as Raven.
Awesome.
Both
very different role, but yes.
Yeah, very different role, but she did great. Unfortunately, I haven't seen her anything else other than that. But I would like this cast. I'm already all for it. So I'm hoping that this Tangled live action is what knocks it out of the park. Because as far as what I've heard, I haven't watched the Moana live action yet, but haven't heard great things about it. Everybody says that the Snow White is dog water.
Cheeks.
Yeah, I did enjoy the Aladdin, but yeah, the live actions have been hit or miss. So
your boy's got a huge. It's August 5th, 2026. I guarantee you, Tangled live action makes a belly.
Honestly, I could see that.
I'm putting that down right now. That movie's going to make a bell.
I could definitely see that.
Made $1 billion, I think. And that was the last.
Yeah, the Lilo and Stitch was good too.
Yeah, I think. Was it you? I think we were talking about the last episode. Like, there's a sweet spot potentially of like, when is a movie too old to be remade or when it's too young to be a remade? I think Rapunzel might be that sweet spot. Lilo and Stitch certainly was. It was 24 years since it got released. Tangled, I think, is up. We're up to 15 years. I think it's in a sweet spot where Tangled is going to make $1 billion in the box office.
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Like Spider-Man basically almost did in 4 days. They got time. They're going to figure it out. But that's a good one. I wonder if they'll actually, because we know that they're filming, because like I said, it's all over X. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some little snippet of test footage that we probably won't see, but people in attendance probably will see. I'd bet good money on that.
I love that.
My number 2 wish is I want an announcement about a Galaxy's Edge timeline shift at Walt Disney World. They've already done this at Disneyland, where like the Resistance Base area is the sequel trilogy. Then the Marketplace is more of that / where the Millennium Falcon is. That's more of the original trilogy kind of section. Well, actually, no, the Marketplace is more like the Disney Plus shows. Like that's where you're gonna see like Mando and Fennec Shand and Ahsoka, and then more towards like the Millennium Falcon and the Starfighter. That's where you're gonna get original trilogy. That's where you're gonna see like Chewbacca, Han Solo, Luke, Darth Vader, the old stormtroopers. At Disneyland, I thought it worked great. They have the John Williams soundtrack pumping in there. Originally, it was supposed to be like you're living in the land, so you're not hearing that music. When I went to Disneyland, I like Galaxy Edge a lot. I definitely told myself I liked it a lot more than I thought I did when Disney World happened, just because I was so happy to have it. But looking back at like other theme lands, especially when you go to like a place like Epic Universe, right, where like that theming there is just top notch. I think that really opened my eyes to like what everybody else was talking about, what Galaxy's Edge was lacking. However, I felt like it was a huge upgrade when I went to Disneyland this past June. They have the timeline shift where they have all these different characters that don't interact, but they're in their separate quarters. But you get to see Darth Vader, you get to see Kylo Ren, all these people, but without them ever cross paths, kind of thing. You have the score. It really felt a lot more special. Is it the best land in the world? No, absolutely not. But it felt a lot more special with that timeline shift. So I'm hoping Disney World announces that same sort of timeline shift, especially if that was a pilot at Disneyland.
Yeah, it's always good when they take the great things of Disneyland and bring them over to Disney World, because some of us aren't trying to take that 6-hour flight all the way to Cali.
However, you should, because Disneyland is God's country. All right, your number one biggest wish.
All right, my biggest wish, and it is because I think that they're starting to generate some momentum here. I want to know what their next original passion project movie is going to be. We already have Hex that I believe is coming out in November. And the first trailer of that looked awesome. So I want to know what's next, because Hoppers, to me, Hoppers was a hit. I thought Hoppers was awesome. Jazz and I got a chance to watch watched Ilio, and I was like, this one's all right. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay.
What was better, the movie or the pizza?
I think I'd have to go with the pizza.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to go with the pizza. But I feel like I'd have to look back, but I feel like we're getting kind of this game where Disney is trying to introduce new original stories. And it seems almost like it's like every year they're trying, or every 13 months, they're trying to put out something original. So, and this could go all the way back to Red Panda. Then, what was it, like Weird World or something like that? Like Strange World or something like that. Like Strange World. I've watched it twice. I actually thought it was pretty decent. But they've been trying to come out with these originals because it's like we can't keep making sequels of the same stuff over and over again. At some point, the story comes to an end. We already know that there are more Frozens coming down the line, but I want to know about the original stuff. So Hex is great. I have to do my research because I want to see who it is that wrote Hex, because I don't know. I think I've asked you this before. There's a show called Owl House that was on Disney that, quite honestly, the premise of Owl House sounds very similar to the premise of Hexed. So I'm wondering if the writer, or if anyone on this writing team is kind of the same. But yeah, I want to know what do we have that's new? Don't give me the constant redone stuff. I don't need Lilo and Stitch 3. I don't need Toy Story 6. Give me something new. Hoppers was a breath of fresh air for those that didn't want another sequel. And I think we've gone to a point where they're trying. And that's all I can ask. Just keep trying. Keep trying. You're going to find that next big hit, obviously. But give me something great that's not about princesses, and I'm all for it. So, yeah.
I know I suck, Stevie. I'm sorry. I'm two very quick honorable mentions. One, Frozen 3 news. Very quick, that one. Two, honorable mention. I want a Hollywood Studios name change.
Oh.
Give me a new premise. I love what they did with the Disney Adventure World, which was their version of Disney Studios. You don't have to call it that, but give me a name change for Hollywood Studios. My real number one is I want as much info as they're willing to share about Villains Land. I want an exact count on the number of rides. I want to know what those rides are going to be themed to. I want to know what kind of rides we're going to be talking about here. is this going to be a Maleficent roller coaster, or are we getting the supposed rumor right now is that it is like Emperor's New Groove roller coaster with pulling the Yzma and pulling the lever Kronk, which I think is crazy that in a villain's land we're gonna pick Yzma as having an attraction. I think that's nuts. I'll still ride it. I love it, but like I just can't believe that's what we're maybe doing. Again, I'm not mad about it. I'm shocked that's the direction that might be happening, but we don't know that for sure. And that's why my number one wish is I want announcements on this. I want what rides are we getting? What are they themed after? Eateries, shopping options. Is there a cool piece of merch that I'm going to buy? Like, is there going to be a version of the Banshee from Avatar Pandora, but maybe it's one of the Maleficent's crows? I don't know. I don't care, but I want to know. And that's my number one wish is I need all the. I want a name. I don't want to just keep calling it Villains Land. I want a name. What is this thing going to be? Like if it's like the Dark Forest or mythical, enchanted, bad people land. I don't care. I just want a name. I want to know what the hell I'm going to be riding. I don't need to know stories behind the rides. I just need to know, hey, roller coaster, Emperor's New Groove, boat ride, Ursula. I just want to know that, basically.
Do we have a timeline on when Villains Land is supposed to be?
Probably 2030, 2031. I don't think nothing's official at this point.
Okay.
The only thing that right now is we know Tropics of America is 2027. Probably late 2027 is my guess. But again, I bet we'll have a better. We're not gonna have a date, but we're gonna have a season of exactly when Tropics of America is gonna open up at Animal Kingdom. If we don't have one already, for sure it's 2027 unless things got delayed. My guess is I think we're gonna get Cars and Villains within the same year. My guess is 2031 for that.
Ooh, okay.
I think we're years away from those two coming
in. So I guess I will be at Disneyland before I go to Disney World, because the next time that I go to Disney World, I want villains and all of that. So I might, yeah. So I think I'll take a hiatus from Disney World to visit Disneyland.
I think you do Disneyland once the new Avengers ride opens. That's the play.
Yeah.
Once Infinity Defense opens, maybe even you wait for the Coco. You could wait for Avatar, but that you might not need to wait for. But I think for sure you wait for Avengers Infinity Defense to open, and then you go to Disneyland. And then, like you said, once Cars and once Villains opens up at Magic Kingdom, then you go to Disney World. I think that's the play.
Yeah,
or you become a sucker like me and just go to Disney World every year.
Yeah.
Just be an idiot like me. But all right, that's it. I think there's our Spider-Man reaction, and then our D23 wish list. So what's going to happen is D23 takes place on the weekend of August 14th to the 16th. I will be away that following week on vacation, so we'll record our next episode the week after D23. So I know that you're going to be able to hear noise about in news from all that stuff. We'll react to it. We're probably not going to react to everything. We'll probably take like the top 3 of the movie news, top whatever of the theme park news. Probably lean more toward the theme park stuff, honestly, because that's the bread and butter for D23 in my opinion. And we'll talk about that. That'll be our last episode before I go on my little paternal leave. So
sweet. Sounds good.
All right, Stevie, I wish you liked Spider-Man more, but I respect it. Oh, shout out to our theater. We went to Phoenix Theaters at Patriot Place. We got a physical ticket. Very excited. Yeah. I actually have my little jar right here of physical movie tickets. Before I saw the Odyssey, I think it's been pre-COVID was the last time I added a physical ticket because now you do all the online stuff. We bought the tickets online, but then they still gave us a physical ticket. So I got it in my little jar of tickets over here, which is very exciting.
I think
ticket. I love physical media. Love physical gifts, basically.
That's about to be my go-to theater. Like, the theater was dope.
Real quick, random movie I'm about to pull out right now. Far From Home. Look at that. I went on, let me see here. July 2nd, 2019, 7:30 showing on a Tuesday to Far From Home. There we go. Huh. That's your random ticket pull of the day, everybody.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Well, before we sign off, as you all know, Have an amazing Friday, a lovely weekend, and as always, keep it magical.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. You can listen to the pod on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also find us on our Instagram at Dadventures Around the Kingdom. If you have any ideas for future episode topics you'd like to hear, be sure to DM us on Instagram or email us at datkpod@gmail.com. Again, that's datkpod@gmail.com. If you want to follow our host Stevie on Instagram, you can do that at StevieJenko. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can also do that by following at Magical Vacays by Cam. That's my travel agency page if you're interested in booking Walt Disney World or Disneyland vacation at no additional cost to you. Feel free to DM me on there so we can definitely talk and I can get you a free, no obligation quote. Again, thanks for listening to Dadventures Around the Kingdom. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.